This is WVUA News with special championship week coverage from Alabama's home team.
We are coming to you live from New Orleans. Your home team has been here all week getting ready, counting down to the big BCS matchup between the Tide and Tigers. Up tonight, lots of great coverage from here in the Big Easy, including one place right here in the Crescent City that has really become Bama Central. It's where Crimson Tide fans can go to feel comfortable here in New Orleans. This and more on WVUA News at 6, which starts right now. Hello there, I'm Lynn Brooks live from New Orleans. Excuse if we have a few little technical difficulties. A lot of things going on here in the Big Easy, but we're going to get all those smoothed out and bring you lots of great coverage from New Orleans here this evening. Today, Coach Nick Saban addressed the media, and lots of them. It was media days for Bama. Get a lot of access that we don't normally have. Our own sports director, Gary Harris, was there, and Gary, had to be a great day for somebody like you who covers the Tide all year long.
What it is it's just unparalleled access for us, because normally we're working under all types of restrictions that the coaching staff puts on us. With Coach Saban, you can't interview assistant coaches, only in special circumstances. You can't interview freshmen. You can only interview certain players. But the BCS mandates that on media day, you have 1 hour to interview any team member, any assistant coach, and Coach Saban spent the entire hour talking to reporters. So it's something that this is the only opportunity we get to do this. Right. In fact.
And I know today he addressed something a lot of people have had questions about, especially Alabama fans. Some fans, Gary, saying that because this is here in the state of Louisiana, that LSU gets what some are calling a home field advantage. He addressed that today.
Yeah, in fact, he coached in this game in 2003, and LSU won the national championship with Nick Saban coaching LSU, and then Les Miles won it 4 years later. And but Alabama's had a great history in the Sugar Bowl as well. So it's all about playing the game, even though you could make the argument that LSU has a home field advantage.
Yeah, we actually have part of that interview, I believe.
We understand we played in some tough circumstances, and I don't think that that's something that you have to look to as a challenge, so that we know we're going to have to overcome adversity in this game, and the circumstance that we play in here is just one of those adversities that we're going to have the mental toughness to deal with.
And Gary, again, though, having that type of access to the coach has to be pretty interesting. I understand he also talked a little bit about his wife and her shopping habits. He said she's already gotten out and about and started shopping a little bit.
She loves it here.
And I think also he's enjoying some New Orleans dishes, I think, too. Right. But the big news is, though, getting closer to that game.
Yeah, and coming up later in sports, we're going to have much more from Media Day. Some of those assistant coaches that we talked about and we never get to interview, we interview them. Talk to the players, too, about getting a second chance. You don't often get second chances in life or in sports, but Alabama is getting one against LSU. They want to take full advantage of it. Also, we'll have Nick Saban talking about people say he doesn't have any fun. He says that's not necessarily true. So that's coming up, plus a special interview about a special program that we've got coming up on Sunday night on WVUA.
Sounds great. Thanks a lot, Gary. And if you're not among the lucky few who have a ticket to get inside the Superdome on Monday night, and you still want to come and soak up the atmosphere here in the Big Easy, and you want a place that's Bama friendly, WVUA's Bradley Whittington went out and found a place called the Shamrock. Now, here's the deal about the Shamrock. That's pretty much one of the best known Alabama headquarters, if you will, here in New Orleans. It's Bama friendly. You can go in there with all your crimson and white gear, and you will be welcomed with open arms. So if you're looking for friendly territory in what some are calling the home field for the LSU Tigers, go on over to the Shamrock. We spoke with owners about why they think their place is the place to watch the game.
We're doing an LSU pep rally on the 8th. It'll be actually outside because that is a non-vehicular street. And we'll have a band out there playing from 1 till about 6 p.m. And there'll be bars outside. We'll be grilling hamburgers, hot dogs.
And if you're coming to New Orleans, one of the most famous sites here in this town is the French Quarter. Lots of gorgeous shops, restaurants, novelty stores, everything you could possibly imagine, you'll find it in the French Quarter. A very interesting place. I want to mention too that today, one of the big stories here in New Orleans is that they're kicking off what's called Carnival season. Those of you familiar with Mardi Gras know about Carnival. That's basically the kickoff to social season here in New Orleans. That's when they start parties, that's when they start parades, and it's that big buildup to Mardi Gras, which comes later, and then of course the big Fat Tuesday. Lots of, so many things combined around here. It's interesting to see Alabama and LSU things mixed in with signs they're putting up for parade routes for the beginning of Carnival season. So pretty interesting. And if you want to follow along as we are here in the Big Easy, your home team would love that. Just go online to WVUATV.com. Go there, click news. We've got a BCS button for you. Your boss at work doesn't even have to know about it. You just log on to the internet and you can see our newscasts. You can't catch them live here on television, no problem. Just go to the web. We've got those lined up for you. Also, be my Facebook friend. Why not? I put all kinds of pictures and videos from behind the scenes of my own experiences here in New Orleans. Also, the rest of your home team, Matt McCoy, Gary Harris, Bradley Whittington, Todd Hoyer, Don Huddleston. You can also keep up with us on those social networking sites. So a lot of ways you can see your home team on the web. Much more from the Big Easy later on here on WVUA News at 6. But first, we do have news back at home, so let's take it back to Tuscaloosa.
All right, thanks a lot, Lynn. And back here in Tuscaloosa, it's sauce versus sauce. That's what's on the line between the mayors of Tuscaloosa and Baton Rouge for the BCS National Championship game. Mayor Kip Holden wagered 3 gallons of Raising Cane's infamous cane sauce if LSU loses to Alabama, while Mayor Maddox's office says in return Mayor Maddox, has wagered 3 gallons of Alabama's Dreamland barbecue sauce if the Crimson Tide doesn't come out on top. Maddox's office also says that the two mayors discussed the challenges of disaster recovery as well as the upcoming Championship Bowl game. By train and by automobile, Bama fans are making their way down to the Big Easy. We've met up with some fans that were boarding the Amtrak train to New Orleans from Tuscaloosa this afternoon. Everyone was covered in crimson and houndstooth. The train left around 1:30. All of the fans that we talked with think it's going to be a good game and are excited to be in New Orleans with other Crimson Tide fans. And one of the highlights of Monday night's game will be the University of Alabama's $1 Million Band. Today they held their final rehearsal in Tuscaloosa, putting the finishing touches on their drills and making sure every note is hit just right. They leave for New Orleans tomorrow morning. And the University of Alabama is hosting a tailgating and viewing party for those students who can't make it down to New Orleans. According to the university, the party will include food from New Orleans, including a king cake. And the fun kicks off at the Ferguson Student Center starting at 6:30.